The World Cup Bronze Final is usually the game nobody really wants to play. Two teams, still mourning their semi-final heartbreak, are dragged back onto the pitch for what is essentially a low-intensity chore. That was the expectation when England and France met in Miami to close out their campaigns. Both sides rolled out heavily rotated starting lineups. For France's manager, Didier Deschamps, he was staring down the final 45 minutes of a 14-year tenure at the helm. The 90 minutes that followed replaced tactical caution with high-scoring chaos. From the opening whistle, England abandoned caution and launched a ruthless offensive blitz. This timeline plots the speed of the onslaught. Declan Rice struck in the second minute, followed by a header from Ezri Konsa and a quick brace from Bukayo Saka. In just 37 minutes, England had built a 4-0 lead. This rapid-fire sequence was fueled by French errors. A poor ball from Doué handed Declan Rice the opener, and by the third and fourth goals, the French midfield stopped tracking back to help a defense, losing almost every individual duel. By halftime, France was facing their worst World Cup deficit since 1958, signaling a collapse that looked set to end a legendary manager's career on a low note. Then, the second half started, and the atmosphere of the match inverted. A one-sided blowout morphed into a wide-open shootout. The exact same massive spaces and lack of defensive tracking that England had exploited earlier were suddenly weaponized by France. The comeback began when Bradley Barcola came off the bench and immediately scored. Then, Kylian Mbappé took over. He fired off a rapid double strike, tightening the score to 4-3 and dragging the momentum back toward the French side. Those 3 goals shattered England's comfort. A 4-goal lead had evaporated into a 1-goal margin, forcing England into a panicked fight for survival. To understand the shift in the stadium, you have to look at the historical scale of those 2 strikes from Mbappé. This chart tracks the most prolific scorers in World Cup history. With that surge, Mbappé's total surpassed Pelé and then ticked past Lionel Messi, making him the leading goalscorer in the history of the tournament. But as France threatened to find the equalizer, England delivered a counterpunch by drawing a penalty. Bukayo Saka buried the spot kick to secure his hat-trick and push the lead back to 5-3. France answered instantly, with Ousmane Dembélé scoring a sensational strike to make it 5-4. The match became a heavyweight exchange, where neither side could stop the other from scoring. In the final minutes, France committed every remaining player forward in a desperate search for a 5th goal. That left them exposed. Jude Bellingham intercepted a pass and used a composed skill move to beat a defender under intense pressure. Bellingham's clinical finish made it 6-4, finally ending the French comeback. Bellingham's goal ended a sequence of 6 second-half goals, securing a victory in a game where neither side could maintain defensive shape. The game ended as a 10-goal spectacle, marking the highest-scoring match of the 2026 World Cup. For England, the match produced individual milestones. Bukayo Saka became only the 4th English player to ever score a hat-trick in a World Cup. He joined an exclusive group of English scorers that includes Gary Lineker in 1986 and Geoff Hurst in the 1966 final. Meanwhile, Jude Bellingham set a new national record, finishing the tournament with 7 total goals, the most ever by an English player in a single World Cup. Neither team walked away with the trophy, but their refusal to yield in a consolation match resulted in 90 minutes that defined the individual legacies of their stars.